Those are all the stairs. And there's more. Girl, literally have not vlogged at all. I'm so sorry. I just got here. I will be honest with you, was a little bit overwhelmed because obviously this is my first time in Edinburgh as opposed to London, which I'm super familiar with. I went to the Christmas market. I would have vlogged, but it was so busy, like I could barely walk. It was too much. And then I just had dinner at this little nice burger spot right next to my hostel. You can see it has a cool glass wall. So that's the update for the first night in Edinburgh. I'm gonna go back and read now.
So I decided to stay at a Capsule hotel. This is my bed, which was just absolutely amazing. You'll see close up that there's a lot of attention to detail, from different kind of lightings in the pod to the comfort of the bed and all of the room for you to plug in your devices. The entire theme of the hotel, because it used to be a prison, is like very industrial, and all of the rooms have like special doors on them, which I just think is super fun. And also the hotel itself was just gorgeous, and I love that they did have an elevator, which is just a nice touch because not all hostels do that. And I had the nicest freaking shower here, just so much attention to detail. Then I am doing this little tour, and we're getting ready to go out for breakfast before this tour starts.
I'm about to go on a walking tour of Old Town Edinburgh. I apologize because I'm not gonna talk a lot. It's super crowded, and that makes me feel shy. But the restaurant is empty right now. You can see this latte is bright pink. It is a beetroot latte, which I've never had and I'm super excited about. I'm just waiting for my breakfast right now, and then my tour will start in about 40-45 minutes. Thankfully, where it's departing from is right next door, like 10 seconds. So we should be all good, and food is already paid for, which I have to say I prefer. So I'm going to wait for my breakfast and wanted to at least have some time where you could semi-hear me speak, especially because I'm staying in Capsule hotels. I'm staying in a Capsule hotel, which you saw last night. It's so freaking cool. I love it, and it's actually very well designed, and you can tell there's been a lot of thought put into what the people who stay there would need. So each of the capsules have their own like reading light, and then a light for like nighttime if you just want to chill. There's a shelf, and there's an outlet directly above your bed. Underneath your bed is a completely free locker with storage space for your shoes, and a little rack where you can hang any stuff that you're trying to dry, which I just find so useful, even down to the headboard in the capsule where you can lean against if you were trying to read at night before bed, down to the spacing, how comfortable the beds are, how thick the pillows are. The comforters are thick. The bathrooms are down the hall, but I showed you a clip of the shower just because it's one of the nicest showers I've ever had, and the shower stalls themselves are one, like the bathrooms are meticulously clean, like sparkling, and two, the showers are split into two sections, each individual shower stall, so the showers are fully closed, none of that, you just have a curtain shit, and also there's one section where you would put your clothes and your towels, your pajamas, whatever you're changing into, and then the shower itself, which has free shower gel. So just lots of thought put into the guest. I don't know. So used to American oceans. It's the size of my palm, which is hilarious, but I love it.
She tried to get both parties worshipping together in there for unity's sake. He didn't like it. He would stand there at church on a Sunday and scream and shout at the congregation and point the finger. Because in those days, that's what church was all about.
This tour was absolutely incredible, and I had such a great time on it. It was a free tour, so you tip at the end, but my tour guide was absolutely incredible, so funny and so witty, and just explained everything we were looking at really well, while giving us really great recommendations for what to do around Edinburgh. He was explaining some of the history and architecture and how Edinburgh was preserving its architecture, even though there were people who were saying we should just kind of take the whole thing down. We went up to the castle and got to see this spectacular view, and this is the White Hart Inn. For my people who are into the spooky stuff, this is inn where people were murdered. They were taking tourists and essentially stealing their organs. This little street was super cute, and I had a great time walking up it. And then we did some more spooky stuff by going up to Edinburgh's most haunted graveyard, which I'll tell you about in a moment.
Just your casual Saturday stroll through Scotland's most haunted graveyard. Apparently the bodies are only buried like 6 inches beneath the grass, and things pop back up. does conclude tour number 1. So I'm gonna go use the bathroom, and then tour number 2 will start in about 20 minutes.
Hat, a long leather coat and big black boots. If you were caught living out on the streets once, it would be a slap on the wrist. If you were caught twice, they would cut off one of your hands. And if you were caught a third time, you would be executed. So it was a really dangerous life to live.
This is the underground vaults tour. This room was super haunted and it was just a really great time.
You saw little clips of it, but I just finished the underground ghost tour, which I will tell you is one of like the creepiest ghost tours I've ever done, just because the history is like so dark and so tragic, and it's very drafty. We are under the ground, so it added a lot of ambiance and it was a lot of fun because obviously everyone on the tour really wanted to hear about ghosts. The only food location on my list is this place, Pie Maker, and I'm going to have the traditional Scot pie, traditional pasty, and then like a pizza bake with a Dr. Pepper. So I'm gonna get to that and I'll see you later.
Since Pie Maker was the only spot I wanted to go to while I was in Edinburgh, I wanted to record me trying the Scots pie, which was absolutely amazing. Highly recommend because it was delicious. Ignore my facial expressions, just trust me.
Wandering a freaking castle in the middle of the night. It looks like it, right? It's 5 o'clock. Anyway, it's really cool. I love the light shows, but it's also really cold.
Your aura is yellow.
I am going to head back now. I've seen a lot of beautiful lights. It's very cold, so I'm gonna go crawl into bed and relax.
Since it was only a little bit after 6 at this point, I decided to stop at this little cafe they had at the castle, and I was so surprised by how good everything was. I had that peppermint mocha and a salted caramel like tart, and it blew my mind. The facial expression I'm making is me in disbelief that it would be that good. Starting the morning off with a walk up to Calton Hill. I love how paranoid I look here.
You all see the rainbow? Trust me, under this hat, I don't look this crazy. It's just smushing all of my hair. But look at that beautiful rainbow and the view that I showed you earlier. This is Calton Hill in Edinburgh. Wow, this beautiful rainbow has graced us with its presence. Let me catch you up. I obviously have not been reading. I'm on vacation. I don't know why I feel like I have to apologize for that, but I am on vacation, and that means that I usually just don't have a lot of time to read. I'm out and about all day, and by the time I get into my bed, all I want to do is kind of watch YouTube and go to sleep. So there will be more reading happening. I'm in the middle of like 4 books. Stuff is going on. I've planned these next couple of weeks literally just around what I think my mood will be. So in London, we had like the most active and social. Edinburgh is still pretty active because I've never been here, and there's a lot of things that I want to see. And Amsterdam is the next stop. That will be a lot quieter. There's a few museums, a canal tour, in general, just walking. And finally, Berlin, which will be a little bit more active again. But I hope that you are enjoying it. And the next 3 locations after this, I will be staying in private rooms, so I will have more space to update you, which for the past couple of days I haven't been able to because I've been in shared rooms. I hope you enjoyed that very motion sicky vlog of me spinning around in circles, just kind of admiring the view, but also checking my own back to make sure no one's behind me.
Then I popped into the National Portrait Gallery, which is full of just amazing art. I absolutely loved visiting.
There is the Christmas markets. I was here the first night I got here, but it was really, really busy. It's still crowded, but obviously not as much because it's daytime, so I'll try to show you some things. Behind me is the Christmas markets. Definitely recommend coming in the day as opposed to at night. This is much more manageable. I do have lunch reservations in like an hour, but I have not eaten at all since like 5 p.m. yesterday. So I'm spoiling my appetite with a churro funnel cake and a bottle of water. This morning we just walked around Newtown for a little bit, which was fun, and I'll show you the view from here because that's where we're heading back up to. But yeah, you can see the Ferris wheel, and that's where we just came from. The churros were back there. Once again, Queen of the Angles. And that is the view. Old Town is up there, but we're gonna go up Southbridge. Okay, that's where I just had lunch. It was really, really good. All vegetarian and vegan food. The portions were a lot bigger than I was expecting them to be. So I felt really bad because I could not finish my meal. Like, I was eating and eating and eating and trying to get through as much as I could, but I got to the point where I like almost threw up. So that was time for me to stop. So now around the corner is the Scottish National Museum, which is where we're gonna head. It's about 2 p.m. If we have time, I will also do like one of the hop on, hop off bus tours and the Writers Museum. So many of these exhibits in this little transport hall, Transport and Energy, are interactive. Like, you can sit in a race car. And this really reminds me of Final Destination. Look at that little pointy thing and how easily it could stab you. I don't know how to show you that scale, but that's T-Rex. That's squid. And also, that's an ostrich next to that elephant. Scary as fuck.
By this point in the day, I'm absolutely exhausted, but I stopped to read this plaque, which they have by the front door, and I really appreciate it.
I spent about 45 minutes in the museum. It was really cool, but it's so big and there was so much more to see. And quite honestly, I was falling asleep. So instead of doing the bus tour and the Writers Museum, I'm gonna save that till Tuesday because I'll be here for most of Tuesday morning and afternoon. My plane doesn't leave until 6. We're gonna do that. And I'm gonna rest before the ghost tour tonight.
We didn't have a lot of people on this tour, so it was really small and informal, but lots of fun.
Ghost tour over. Hella dehydrated. You can always tell because my lips are good. Just have some food before bed.
It's super loud in here, but I ended up getting wings, fries, and 2 drinks.
I don't know if you could hear me in the restaurant, but I had a lovely time on the ghost tour. Just had some wings and drinks. I'm gonna go up and shower, and tomorrow we're off to the Highlands.
Even just watching this back makes me excited. I'm just picking up a morning coffee here, and then we're on our way.
First stop. Yes, I look ridiculous, but how cute is this little village? I think it's adorable. I have to use a bathroom. It is 50p. I don't have change, so good luck to me. And the little clip you saw earlier of the walk is also part of this village. I really like it. It's super peaceful and the weather is lovely. Okay, so this is the first stop on the tour on our way up to the Highlands. We are still in the lowlands right now. This town is really lovely and the bathroom attendant was really nice. I haven't seen this before, so I do want to say that when I went to the bathroom, in each of the stalls there's a bag full of sanitary pads, which I just think is really nice, especially if your period came unexpectedly, you don't have anything, the bathrooms are pretty empty, the town is super small. So it's just nice to see that they thought of that for people, and they have like information about using reusable pads and things like that. I feel like the Scotland vlog is going to be the longest. Let me just show you this view behind me. Absolutely gorgeous. The weather cleared up this morning. So the Scotland vlog will be the longest, but I apologize because I feel like I've been very quiet in these vlogs and there are so many clips where I'm just like mouthing something to you, and that's because one, I have to be mindful of my surroundings and I never want to draw attention to myself, but two, because I feel shy vlogging in public, and because I'm staying in hostels for the first 2 parts of my trip. So this is the last hostel that will have a shared room. I haven't been able to come home and debrief with you all about the day, what I've been up to, how I've been feeling. And also there hasn't been much reading, which I think I said yesterday when I was up on Calton Hill. I'm just taking the time to enjoy being in nature. Like, how beautiful is this? Like, sun streaming through the trees, you can see my breath, so you can see it's not actually cold. I would say it's more brisk than anything. But while I have this little bit of quiet and privacy, I wanted to update you on that and how much I am enjoying my trip. I do have an anxiety disorder, which I've spoken about before. It's something that has affected my life, but I feel like something I've done really well is plan this trip around where I think I'll be at with my mood. So progressively, as I mentioned yesterday, things will slow down. I'll get even more private spaces so that I can have space to debrief. Something that I am encountering, that's the cathedral, by the way. Something that I am encountering is this kind of feeling that I should be out all day. Literally like roll out of bed and run to go do things and don't come home until like midnight. The reality is that's not me. That's not how I travel. And one of the fun things about solo travel is that you decide your itinerary and you decide what it is that you want to do. I am infinitely grateful for my ability to take this trip and to just take 2 weeks to go backpacking through Europe. But I want to have some moments with you where I'm talking honestly about the things that I'm dealing with and things that I'm personally working to overcome. So with that said, let's head back. House is cute.
The final stop on this tour is Dewar's Whisky, where we sampled some of their more well-known whiskeys and had a really great time before heading back to Edinburgh.
And that's a wrap. It is the last morning in Edinburgh. It's about 11 a.m. My flight doesn't leave until 7, but I'm going to take the next few hours to finish what I didn't get to finish, and time to check out.
A brief stop for breakfast before moving on with the day. We go to a museum and hiking.
This is the Museum of Edinburgh, which was so cool. It just tells you the history and story of Edinburgh from when it was first founded all the way up to when it started manufacturing things like glass and pottery how big the city was and why the buildings had to get up to like 13 stories because the population grew so much in 300 years and they still only had that much space, which is about like 4 or 5 blocks. When they were ready to get the hell out of Old Town because it was really dirty and full of disease, this guy helped to create Newtown, which essentially is where the rich people went. They were like, fuck this dirty ass place, let's go to Newtown. And these are some clocks. That one has been refinished. This one is more original, but because of this art, they think it's a little bit newer. And then a few others. And then all of this is just silver work and the process of creating silver in that time. This clock is really nice. The original plan. And this is the plan he wanted to go with for Newtown. They didn't go with it, but I do like the circle design. This is closer to the final design of what Newtown looks like when they were first creating it. But the circle is cool with the 2 squares. And in case you're wondering, it's this building right here. It's on the Royal Mile. There's a sign, so you will see it. I have to head to the airport in like 3 hours. We're already on the walk down to Arthur's Seat, so then we're going to do that and then see how much time we have left. The palace. It's closed because it's Tuesday, but there you go. It looks like the sun's about to set. It's not. It's 1 p.m. That is where I'm going. And I'm all the way at the beginning of the trail. Let me see if I can show you. You see that little slopey thing? That's what I'm going to walk up very, very slowly. Because I haven't even started the hike and I'm already out of breath. Arthur's Seat is up there. I'm giving up here. This whole hillside is mud and it's super slippery and it's only gonna get steeper. So let's head back. What the hell did I think? I would be able to climb that. The route, just so you know, up there, tons of mud and rock just all the way up, gets steeper and steeper. We're out of focus. Continues going, gets steeper, 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 all the way until you're there. Still out of focus. All because I'm shaking. I'll recap in a minute. Now that I'm back on paved ground, also apparently need some moisturizer. That was fucking terrifying. Not to be ungrateful, because I think it is like an amazing thing to go up and do. But I've been hiking. I've done a 2-week like hiking backpacking trip. And that shit was fucking scary. Like, I couldn't even make it all the way up. It's super, super steep going up and super steep going down. It's just rocks. And because it rained yesterday, mud. Not like, oh, a little squish, like slip. Mostly water. Mud. So, I made my way down that mountain. Panicking, shaking, trying not to cry, praying I wouldn't die. But at least I tried. I tried to make it up to Arthur's Seat and I made it about halfway. So it's almost 2 p.m. now. Maybe I'll have enough time to hit up the Writers Museum for like 30 minutes and then we'll head to the airport. Walk back and where we just came from. Down that road is the palace and the walk up to Arthur's Seat. And exactly as predicted, that is the Writers Museum behind me here at exactly 2:30. So I have the luxury of about 30 to 45 minutes in here before I have to head out. It's pretty small, but this is the area that inspired Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The writing of that, which was inspired by Deacon Brodie. If you want to look up the history, it's really interesting. I believe the museum is free, so I'm excited to go and see. How freaking cool. It's his life. That's it. Bye, Edinburgh. Get up my bag and time to head to the tram. That's St. Andrew's Square. Tram. It took about 10 minutes from arriving at the airport. The tram leaves you at the front door, literally, to get to here. Walking through the departure gate, I have to say it's super efficient. And my plane is boarding in 2 hours, leaving in about 3. I have travel anxiety, so I'm always early, but I haven't eaten lunch, so I'm gonna hopefully see if my gate is available. If not, sit down, eat some dinner, and it's all good.